I'm going to show you how to garnish our cheese and onion buns. So I've got some whole wheat bread dough here that I've made. I just finished making, so I just finished kneading it and it's nice and soft and elastic. I want to press it into a rectangle. And then I'm going to garnish it with some fresh herbs. I've got some caramelized onions and some grated cheese. You can use any variation. And the reason I follow this method is so as not to get things too crushed up. If I were to add it to my bread dough when I was mixing, everything would get crushed. I want to have whole pieces of cheese and herbs and onions in my bread. So I'm going to start with my caramelized onions. They're all nice and cool and they're chopped up finely. And spread those on there. Then I've got, I think I'll use my herbs next. I've got some fresh thyme, just the leaves, and some chopped fresh oregano, but any variation will work. And then I've got some grated Parmesan cheese, Parmesan, Asiago, any kind of cheese that you'd like to use. And put that on there. I like to just push it down a little bit. And fold in all my corners. And then I'm going to start kneading it just for about 2 or 3 minutes until everything's all worked through. Some of the cheese and the onions might start to spill out, but just keep working it like that. Just keep working it and eventually it'll all get incorporated throughout your dough. So now all my garnishes are worked through really nicely. Everything feels to me to be evenly distributed. So I've got a bowl here with a little bit of oil. I just want to put my dough in, rub it around the sides of the bowl. You can use your hands. And again, cover it with plastic. And I just want to mark the time. And it should sit for about 2 hours until it's doubled in size. Okay. I'm ready to shape my cheese and onion buns. My dough is doubled in size. So now the first thing I want to do is portion this into 12 pieces. I find it easier. I use a kitchen scale, or if I roll it into a bit of a log, I can see it a little bit better. All right, so here's my 12 pieces. I'm just going to move those off to the side. Now, when you're rolling buns, in order to get that nice round shape, what you want to do is take your bun and kind of fold down the outside so you get a nice tight surface on the outside of your bun. You want to build that surface tension and it helps the structure of your bun. So you bring that all together and then you have your bun loosely in your hand and you want to, it's stuck to your table. You want to roll it in your hand, sort of gently pushing down below your knuckles. And what that does is it increases the surface tension around the outside of your bun, and that's what's going to make it nice and round. It's sort of like the mouse on the bottom of your, or the little ball on the bottom of your computer mouse. And then you get this swirly pattern with a hole in the center, and that tells me I have that nice surface tension. So then I'll transfer this to my baking sheet and carry on with the rest of my buns. If your buns are drier, this is quite a moist bun, you really want it to stick to the table a little bit. So if they're drier, you can put a little bit of water down, not very much. So I've just dipped my fingers in some water and just rubbed a little bit of water on my counter. And that'll help them stick, because you really want the dough to stick so that you get that nice stretching effect. And once all your buns are rolled, then you want to loosely cover them again with some plastic wrap. And let them brew for about half the time of the first fermentation. So if they took 2 hours to ferment to double in size the first rise, then let them sit for an hour the second rise. Brush them with some egg wash and garnish them with some extra cheese, and then they're ready for baking. And these are my finished cheese and onion buttons. Visit ATCOBlueflamekitchen.com for more tips.